Welcome to another episode of The Savage Land. And today's episode will be about the JAKKS Mario World 4-inch line. Is it really worth it? Are these figures fun? Are they even worth buying? How's the articulation? How is the QC quality on them? And I just wanted to take some time just to go over this line because I really don't see a lot of reviews online about this JAKKS 4-inch line, which I personally love it. There's some flaws in it that I don't like that I wish they could correct. It's just another case of a line, just like almost G.I. Joe Retro. If you dig just a little bit deeper into it and put a little bit more oomph in it, you'll have something on your hands because you got something right here. I got this one from GameStop. Their JAKKS figures come more like in this cube box here. So you got the figure on the side, little synopsis about him on the back, flip it around. Now if you go to Walmart, they're more in a bubble pack. It has a card. It has a card back with a bubble on it, and also in Target, that's how they come. So they're just a little bit different. I don't know what the deal is on that. Maybe somebody can educate me on that, but they will come in different. But I believe this is the same line. They're pretty much set up, I guess, with GameStop. They have their own exclusive box. All right, so we have Ludwig out of the box, and I'll give you a quick synopsis of him from the back of the box. It says, as the oldest and the leader of the Koopalings, Ludwig can be a bit of a show-off. Armed with a magic wand, formidable intelligence, great fighting skills, he makes for one dangerous opponent. So, any of you kiddos out there born after the new millennium, because I don't know how far they go on King Koopa's children, or how far is King Koopa still a thing in the Mario world, because I know Mario has never stopped. He continues to go on, but I fell off a long time ago, back in the Super NES days. But his children were bosses. And they would have a magic wand, and you had to go through them. They were the boss at the end of the stage till you eventually got to King Koopa at the end of the game in the later series. I don't know how many kids he had, but he had a lot. You had to go through about 6, 7 of them. And I remember Ludwig. I don't remember him being the oldest or the most powerful, but man, it's been a minute since I beat a Super Mario. Now, with these figures, you're not going to get too much articulation. Like I said, it's only 9 points. As far as his arms, he can lift them up in a T. His legs, this is the only articulation you got with the foot. So as you can see, the foot just goes up, it goes down, and it goes up. His leg, that's pretty much how far he can move. These guys are almost kind of like, the way their legs shape, they almost kind of have like dog legs, like a dog hinge type leg, because they're not fully human. But this squatting position that JAKKS has them in, helps for them to stand, because especially with his hair. These figures can be very top heavy with the shells. They're solid little figures. When you pick this guy up, you're not gonna be picking up a light figure. You're gonna be picking up a little solid figure here, man. So they're definitely full of plastic. They're definitely not hollow. As far as his face, look like his eyes are painted on. Has the one big tooth mold there in the front, and as you see his hair, that's just one big solid piece. But like I said, he's so low to the ground. He's in that squatting position. That helps him stand almost kind of like in a sitting mode. But his shell looks phenomenal with that blue. It almost kind of looks like a Denver Bronco type color, or like a football jersey, like the old Denver Bronco colors. And that's pretty much it on his articulation. As far as his head, some of these guys have swivels, some don't. And yeah, he can't even move his head. So that's just one big solid piece there. But it's definitely a solid figure all the way around. They put a lot of love into this line. I think they could put a little bit more. And like I said, I think that will take them over the top. As far as not having so much articulation, it kind of makes up with it. These guys almost kind of get a pass. Almost in a 6-inch world. All in all, I still think Mario would be these little 4-inch characters. Can you imagine Mario being the size of a regular man? You're always going to think of him as some type of little shorty. Even when he grows up big on the game, he still looks small. But as far as some of the other figures in the line, I like his other little sibling here. Man, I forgot his name. But he's one of my favorite ones, and just simply for the color. This line does not spare the color. I mean, it's just real classic primary colors, but it's just beautiful. I see everything in color. I mean, this line is just beautiful. It really is. It's playful. It's fun. It's not too serious. And I think that's the biggest thing with this line. I think I don't take it serious enough to be so harsh and critical on it. I mean, Jesus Christ, man, it's Mario. Now, as far as the best articulated figure in this line, it's definitely the Mario and Luigi in the cat suits, and I'm going to tell you why. Most figures in this line cannot move their heads back. Like you seen with the Ludwig, I tried to turn his head. I couldn't even do that. His head is just molded in that scope just like that. And some of these figures, they're just like that. You can't really do anything with them because they're so short and stout. And on the game, they really never had any articulation. They just moved from side to side or did something like that, so they just kind of kept that theme. But this Mario, he has a hinge on his neck. A lot of them can't do that. He can also look down a little bit. Not much, but he can a little bit. But this backwards motion, I mean, that just makes that figure so much more funner. Now, the Marios and the Luigis in this line, they actually have elbow joints. Their limbs a little bit longer, so they get them elbow joints, and those guys move around just a little bit more. They're the main character, so they do the most action. So that's cool. They also have one knee joint, which for Mario, that's really all you need. Mario's not ever going to do too much. I mean, he's going to, like I said, he has a lot of action in the game. He's the main protagonist, but he's not. He doesn't make too many articulated moves. But with that simple neck hinge, man, that brought this line up for me 25% more. As far as the other figures, I haven't seen any other figures like that. I don't know why they did that for the cat suit, but they really looked out for him on that one. This figure is the worst figure in the line. He can't even stand up on his own. He looks good. He looks like, real cartoonish. Like I figure like him is supposed to look. But he just can't stand up. I could never stand him up, and some of his limbs come off. Yeah, that Luigi is the worst figure in the line. If you see that in GameStop, don't pick that up. They should be selling that for $1 because that's what it's worth to me. But other cool little figures in the line that are stiff, that don't have as much articulation, are still really good. Like this little guy right here. The first time I remember seeing him, I think it was like in part 2. But he looks just like the figure. They have articulation with them. But that's about it. Other than that, he's just a statue. He's pretty much gonna just sit there. But I have quite a collection of these figures, man. I think they're awesome. I just wanted to do a quick little video say don't sleep on this line. They have tons of good stuff in it. And it's nostalgia at the end of the day. Also in this line, they'll go the extra mile and give you an articulated jaw. especially with this piranha plant. This is the only thing you would know this piranha plant to do was chomp. And they gave that to you. If they wanted to be cheap, they could have just left this open and you probably would have still been in awe. But this just makes the toy way more funner. That articulated jaw. Little stuff like that. And a $10 toy, I mean, that's awesome, man. It's definitely worth it then. Here's another one, the skeleton turtle. That when you go to the ghost world, he also has an articulated jaw. So he can chomp down. His wings flap also too, they move. Just a little bit. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but the wings are set on kind of like a ball hinge. Like with most wing figures. So you can have them in flapping positions. So, you know, he looks like he's flying or whatnot. But that articulated jaw makes a world of difference. Then you got cool, classic, nostalgia guys like the Boomerang Brothers. I mean, these guys, they don't have too much articulation. Same as Mario. Single jointed elbow. Their mouths are fixed open. They don't have articulated jaws, but they look good. You know, they painted inside the mouth. You know, so you can see the little red tongue. His eyes are painted on. Got that little sculpted shell. Nothing's too serious. Everything is playful with this. Nice, colorful line, but it's exactly how the game was. He has like a little boot cut on his foot. Their legs can get kind of limber. But they're such short, stout characters. Everybody pretty much stands up. Everybody with a little bit of leg length to them. Their legs get a little bit limber, but they almost have them set up in a like squatting mode. Everybody kind of stands in a squatting mode. Got my buddy Yoshi here. He looks good too. It's kind of like an alternate version. I thought that was pretty cool. The black and white with the orange fin. Then you got one of like the little mushroom troopers. Or what these are, Goombas? He's pretty much a statue. He doesn't move at all. But what did you see this guy do but slide and get squashed? Bottom line, I think this line is definitely worth checking out. You can either get them in GameStop, Walmart, Amazon has them. Check Amazon a lot because sometimes they might be marked down to $9. I paid $12 for this one, this Ludwig figure from GameStop. So they're a little bit more on the cheaper end, just like that G.I. Joe retro line. They're cool, fun figures. They're nothing taken too serious. If you collect one, or if you collect, let me see how many I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I got like 21 of them. Didn't know I had that many. But they look so good together. I hope you guys like the action figure photography. There was a lot of bright colors popping, man. And they just make for a beautiful set. I think they're cool. As far as the line, I give the line a B-. They're floating kind of average right now because just with a little bit more love into this line, it could be something phenomenal. A little bit more better neck articulation, a little bit more quality control on the joints because, like I said, the legs feel a little loose sometimes. But for the money I paid, I think I got my money's worth with them. For the most part, the only one I really regret is that I believe his name was Luigi, the real tall, skinny one. He can't even stand up. His leg fell off the first day. He sucks. The quality control on that was horrible. They got me on that. They beat me on that. But all these other ones, I'm glad I brought them, man. A lot of these I have seconds of. That's how much I think of the line. That's how much I adore the JAKKS Mario World line. And I think it's a good line. It's very inexpensive. But just wanted to run that quickly by you. I thought they were cool figures. We're going to end this show on the regular theme. When you step out the door, make sure you're being a person of integrity. Until the next time, God bless.